Welcome. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do the Dreamweaver interface assignment. It actually starts on page 1, but I'm going to start on page 13. You can work through the workspaces on your own. I just normally choose the light workspace and standard. If you prefer to work in developer, that's fine. So on page 13, it's going to ask you to create a site from one that's already created by importing it. So the first thing we need to do is go into Canvas, and you need to download the Dreamweaver interface zip, which is right here. And so you click on it and choose download, and you can download it to wherever you want. Notice I've already downloaded it. Once you're done with that, go back into the GoBerry Launchpad, click on Web Storage, Berry hosted files. Now you're going to have a lot less than I have. These are from different classes that I've taught. I'm going to go to IT338. You should have a folder already called WIP. If you don't, make sure you create the folder by new and folder and create a WIP. Once you have it, go inside the WIP. Notice I already have these things here. I'm going to delete the interface. I've already done this project here. That'll take care of that. And I'm going to upload the interface file. Click on upload. Then I'm done. Then all I need to do is right click and choose unzip, and it will create the folder for me. So the folder you want is the interface folder. You can see inside of it is another file, and it says SF Arts. And inside of that is some images. And this is a site that we're actually going to import. Anything that ends in a .ste is a site definition file which can be used by Dreamweaver. So I'm going to go back into the GoBerry. In order to get there, I need to click on this X. Don't choose anything else. You may log out, just the X is fine. Then we're going to go into Dreamweaver. Now, you need to make sure you understand how to do the import site. So I will show you for it's really fairly easy. Just go into Site, go into Manage Sites, and these are the sites that I've already had set up. I want to click on Import Site, and it doesn't matter where you're at, just click on it. Then you need to navigate to your S drive, which is your Berry drive, the IT338 folder, the WIP folder, the interface folder, and here is your SF Arts STE. Click on Open. Then it's going to say choose the local root folder for Site of Arts. So we're going to go back down. We want it to be the SF Arts. We don't want it in the Images folder. So we're going to click on Select there. And then it's going to say, where do you want the images? Well, we want the images in the Images folder. So we're going to click on Select again, and done. Then it will actually create the site for us. Here's all our files that are there. Notice we have several different folders, the images and an index file, an events file, and some other files here. We can always drag to see what they are. And this is a CSS style sheet, which you'll learn about shortly. So I'm now on page 15, and I'm working on number 10. It says it wants us to open up the index file. So I'm just going to double click on the index file right here, and it opens up. Now, I like to work in a combination of design view and live view. I use split view very frequently as well. By the way, if you want to get rid of this files, just click on the clasp to icons, two little arrows up top, and you can just drag it out of your way. So if you go into split, so I'm going to go into view and go into split, and notice these things are all grayed out for the most part. And the reason is we're not in split view. So we need to go into split view, and I'm going to go to view and split. If I wanted my code either on the top or the bottom, I would choose split horizontally. If I didn't like it on the top, I'd go back into view and split and put design view on top. I don't like it that way. I like code on the left, so I'm going to go back into split, and I want it to split vertically, and I want it to get rid of the design view on the left. So now I have the design view on the right and code on the left and split view. So that finishes page 15. In 16 over here, it gives you the toolbars document menu. So what you want to do is I'm going to go into design view over here. If you go into window and toolbars, make sure that document, standard, and custom are all loaded. So let me put the comment here. And then I'm going to go and back into window and toolbars and get rid of the standard. So once you get rid of the standard, the little icons to save, open, and some of the other things are gone. I like it. So I'm going to always keep it there. I highly recommend that you do as well. Make sure you have all three in there. If it doesn't put it where you want it, you can just drag it down over here. We'll show that in another tutorial. But you want to just drag it down till you get a blue line, and that takes care of that. This will be very helpful when you're in code view. Okay, that takes care of number 11. Number 12, it says review the open file in the document window in there. Nothing really all that exciting in there. In the document toolbar in number 12, click the down arrow to the right and choose design, and we showed all that stuff. So if you want to go into live, click the down arrow here. That gives you live. This is an indication of what your website is going to look like in a browser. Some of the functionality is there, but it's more for looks only. Then in design view is, in my opinion, an easier way to code, but it's totally up to you which way you do it. Some of the book will tell you to be in design view. Some of it will tell you to be in a live view, and follow what they want, because depending upon what you're doing, you can only do it in one of the other views in here. All right, so that takes care of number 12, number 13, and then I'm on 14, and it's going to ask you to click on the architecture icon or image, which is right here, and look at the properties. Well, the problem is there's no properties. So just go to, again, window and properties, and click on it, and eventually it'll come up. There we go, finally. Once you click on it, it's in the middle. If you drag it down and wait for the blue line, it will dock it at the bottom. You just got to be patient, take it slow. Eventually you'll see a little blue. There we go. Now it's docked here on the bottom. If I click on it, you'll see the properties here. This is the name of the image and the location. This link over here is if I clicked on it, it went somewhere to another site, or either inside our website or on the web itself. It would be here. This is a class which you'll learn about later, and this is the size. This is an alt tag. Every image should have an alt tag. That's for screen readers. So if somebody is handicapped visually, when they have a screen reader, it'll actually read the text also. If you hold your mouse over it, it gives you a little bit of a description of the image. Okay, that takes care of number 14. Number 15, we're going to double-click Francisco here. When you double-click, it selects the word itself. And then it wants us to go into split view. Notice that something selected here, it's also selected in split view. Then I'm going to click on code, which is number 17. You can see it's still selected, only now it's blue. We're going to click on the design. And then we're going to preview the file. So it asks us to go into live view. There we go. And we're going to double click the Double Studio Tours in here. So we have the site open. We need to hit the files. Studio Tours, we're going to double click it here. You could choose file and open, or you could choose here and navigate to it as well. And let's move this over here. I work with two screens, and I have all these windows on one screen in the actual Dreamweaver design or live view on one screen, so it makes it so much easier for me. So that takes care of number 19. We've opened up it. Then we're going to choose view, design view options. This is not a good idea. I'm not going to do it, but I'll show you how to do it. We're going to go to view, design view options, and visual aids, and it says hide all. You don't want to do that. These things are much easier. So you can do it in your book. Just click on hide all. It does it. I'm not a big fan of hiding them. You want to see where things are. So let's undo that. So let's just make sure it's still there. Okay, that's good. You'll see more about that later on when you create anchor points and div tags and things of that nature. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to go up to the events link. We're in design view. We're going to change that to live view. Notice the little boxes and things are over here. We're putting our mouse over it. And you can see this is what it would look like when you go on a website. On number 6 on page 21, it asks us to control click or command click if you're working on a Mac. Click on it. And notice it actually changes the site to the view only. It doesn't actually open up the site. It just makes the view in there. And then all we need to do now is close it up top here. And that takes care of that. Next thing is really just how to preview a file in a browser. So it wants you to go into Edit and Preferences. Now remember, you're working off a Barry site. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to go into the actual real-time preview. And notice only Internet Explorer is there. And that's because only Internet Explorer is on that site. If you want to try to choose plus and navigate and find Google, that's fine. On your computer, if you're working on your computer and you have Google or Firefox, then you can use that as well in here just by clicking on the plus and browsing to where it is. So what we're going to do here, we're going to click on close. Down over here is the actual real-time preview. And we're going to do it on Internet Explorer. And you can see it actually opens up the file itself. It wants us to click on Contact. So what it's going to do at this point in time, it's going to try to open up Outlook. We obviously don't have Outlook on there, so let's try it and see what happens. Welcome to Outlook, so click on cancel. You're not going to be able to do that unless you have it. And then the very last thing is to remove the site from Dreamweaver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it. Now remember one thing, it's important. If you remove the site, it doesn't delete the files. So we just go into, we need to close this out here. If you go into site, click on manage site, click on the site and just click this minus sign and it's gone. But notice it's all still there. That's it for this tutorial. Have a wonderful day.